The Detroit Lions did not fall apart last season. They left too much unfinished. 9 wins, 8 losses, and last place in the NFC North looked nothing like the standard this team had built. Dan Campbell did not hide from it. He gave his own season an F, then watched Brad Holmes attack every weak spot that had quietly held Detroit back. The offense still had fire. Jared Goff threw for 4,564 yards and 34 touchdowns. Amon-Ra St. Brown caught 117 passes for more than 1,400 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs scored 18 total touchdowns. Those numbers should have carried Detroit into January. They did not. That is where the real story begins. What nobody is talking about is how much changed around those stars. Drew Petzing now controls the offense, with Mike Kafka helping shape the passing game. Penei Sewell is moving to left tackle. Cade Mays has been brought in to steady the middle. First-round rookie Blake Miller enters with the experience to compete immediately on the right side. Isaiah Pacheco adds force behind Jahmyr Gibbs, while Sam Laporta, Jameson Williams, and Isaac Tesla'a give Jared Goff more ways to attack. Detroit did not spend the spring chasing one flashy answer. It changed the structure, protecting every important player on the offense. Then came the move that could change the defense. Aiden Hutchinson produced 14.5 sacks while carrying the edge rush almost alone. Now second-round rookie Derek Moore arrives with the power to punish teams for sending extra help toward him. DJ Wonnum and Peyton Turner add depth. Aleem McNeil returns inside. The secondary was also rebuilt around the uncertain health of Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. Detroit has more options, more pressure, and fewer places for an opponent to feel safe. But all of it still turns on one man. Jared Goff produced big numbers inside an offense that lost its rhythm when games tightened. The next question is not whether he can throw. It is whether Detroit finally built a system that lets him control the game from the first snap to the last. Jared Goff enters this season with a challenge that goes deeper than passing yards. Detroit moved the ball last year, but too many drives lost shape when pressure rose. Dan Campbell took control of the play sheet, and the offense found bursts of energy without finding steady answers. That mattered because an attack should not feel uncertain on third down. The Lions needed one voice, one plan, and a system built around what their quarterback reads best. That responsibility belongs to Drew Petzing. His job is not to rebuild Goff. It is to remove wasted motion from the offense and give every call a purpose. Mike Kafka supports the passing game, bringing experience with quarterbacks, route timing, and protection answers. Together, they can give Goff more control before the snap, faster choices after it, and fewer moments where the offense depends on a perfect throw. Dan Campbell can return his attention to the entire team instead of carrying the play sheet. The twist is that this change could make Detroit look calmer while becoming more dangerous. Goff is at his best when his feet stay clean. His first read tells the truth, and the ball leaves on time. If Petzing connects the run, the screen game, and the middle of the field, defenses will have to reveal their plan early. But that only works if one explosive player becomes the center of everything. Detroit already made that choice, and Jahmyr Gibbs is about to feel the full weight of it. The backfield belongs to Jahmyr Gibbs now. Last season, he carried the ball 243 times and added 77 catches, proving he could handle more than a change of pace role. Detroit then traded David Montgomery to the Houston Texans, ending football's balanced running back pair. The move was not a rejection of Montgomery. It was a sign that the Lions were ready to build their attack around the speed, vision, and receiving skill of Gibbs. Detroit protected that plan by signing Isaiah Pacheco, a runner built for physical football and difficult yards. He does not need to copy Montgomery or demand equal touches. His value comes from keeping Gibbs fresh, helping in protection, and giving the offense another hard runner when games become heavy. Sione Vaki adds a flexible option behind them. That depth gives Drew Petzing freedom to move Gibbs outside, place him in the slot, or empty the backfield without showing whether the ball is coming through the air or on the ground. That is where the pressure changes for every defense. Focus too much on Gibbs, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, or Sam Laporta get space. Stay wide, and Detroit can attack inside before the defense resets. The plan sounds dangerous, but it carries one risk. A larger workload means more contact, more attention, and fewer quiet weeks. Detroit can only protect its most explosive weapon if the blockers create clean paths. That brings the story to the group that needed the biggest repair. Detroit's hidden problem was not talent at quarterback, running back, or receiver. It was the loss of control up front. The line that once set the tone no longer carried the same experience. Frank Ragnow was gone. Taylor Decker moved on. Graham Glasgow was released after an uneven year. Protection became less dependable. Rushing lanes closed faster. And too many drives began with Detroit trying to recover from a bad first down. Brad Holmes answered by changing the structure. Cade Mays arrives to lead the calls at center after building a strong record in Carolina. Penei Sewell moves to left tackle, placing Detroit's best blocker on the quarterback's blind side. First-round rookie Blake Miller brings 54 straight college starts into the fight at right tackle, where Larry Borum gives him competition. Inside, Tate Ratledge, Christian Mahogany, Juice Scruggs, and Ben Barch create choices that did not exist when injuries and poor form began stacking up. The impact reaches beyond sacks. Better blocking gives Jared Goff time to stay balanced. It lets Jahmyr Gibbs reach open space before contact. It allows Drew Petzing to call play action without fearing pressure. Detroit does not need this line to become perfect in September. It needs 5 players who trust the same call and move as one group. If that happens, the offense can use all its weapons without surviving chaos first. But the front office used the same idea on defense, where Aiden Hutchinson had waited far too long for help. Aiden Hutchinson did almost everything Detroit could ask from one edge defender. He finished with 14.5 sacks, forced 4 fumbles, and led the league with 100 pressures. Yet offenses knew where the main danger lived. They could slide protection toward him, chip with a tight end, and trust the opposite side to hold. That did not erase Hutchinson's impact. It showed how much more dangerous he could become with another threat beside him. Detroit found that threat by trading up for second-round rookie Derek Moore. The former Michigan defender brings power, speed, and a motor built for pressure. He collected 19 sacks across his final 3 college seasons. But his first job will be simpler. Set the edge, win isolated blocks, make every protection decision painful. If an offense sends help toward Hutchinson, Moore must attack the space it leaves. If the help stays away, Detroit's best rusher finally gets the matchup he has earned. The rotation makes that plan stronger. DJ Wonnum adds edge experience. Peyton Turner brings length and power. Aleem McNeil returns inside, while Tyleik Williams enters his second year with more responsibility. Kelvin Shepherd can create pressure without exposing the secondary through constant blitzing. That changes late downs, when one extra second often decides whether a drive survives. Still, pressure only matters if coverage holds behind it. Detroit's next problem was more fragile, because its 2 best safeties were working back from injuries while the cornerback room changed around them. Detroit's secondary did not simply struggle last season. It ran out of healthy answers. Kirby Joseph battled a knee problem, while Brian Branch suffered an Achilles injury that places the start of his season in doubt. Those losses changed how Kelvin Shepherd could call games. Without both safeties controlling space, the defense had fewer ways to disguise coverage and less protection when a corner lost leverage. Detroit could not enter another season hoping every recovery followed the perfect timeline. So Brad Holmes built a safety net. Chuck Clark brings more than 80 career starts and the communication needed to settle a changing group. Christian Izien can handle several roles, while Avonte Maddox offers experience inside and deeper in the secondary. None of them must become Joseph or Branch. They must keep the defense organized until the stars are ready, then give Shepherd flexibility to rotate bodies without losing trust between the back end and the pass rush. Cornerback carries a different kind of pressure. DJ Reed owns one outside job, but the spot across from him remains open after Terrion Arnold was released. Rock Ya-Sin and Ennis Rakestraw Jr. enter the battle, while Roger McCreary pushes for work inside. Then comes 5th-round rookie Keith Abney II, a late pick with the ball skills to force his way into the conversation. Detroit does not need every name to hit. It needs 2 winners, and the overlooked rookie may not be the only young player ready to surprise. The later rounds of Detroit's draft were not filled with luxury picks. They were built for jobs that decide close games before fans react. 4th-round rookie Jimmy Rolder arrives from Michigan with reliable tackling and size to help on special teams. He enters a linebacker room led by Jack Campbell, Derek Barnes, and Malcolm Rodriguez, so nothing has to be rushed. His path begins with clean tackles, trusted assignments, and proving he can stay on the field when the situation changes. The defensive line received 2 developmental pieces. 6th-round rookie Skylar Gill-Howard brings strength inside, while 7th-round rookie Tyre West adds a powerful body to the rotation. Neither player needs a starting job to matter. Fresh interior defenders can protect the linebackers, keep veterans from wearing down, and turn short yardage into a fight. Detroit can teach both players behind Alan McNeil and Tyleik Williams, giving them time to grow without lowering the standard. The toughest moment came when 5th-round rookie Kendrick Law suffered a season-ending knee injury during off-season work. His year changed before training camp began, but Detroit still has to replace the receiver and return value he might have offered. That raises the importance of Greg Dortch, who knows Drew Petzing's language from Arizona and can help the offense and special teams. These roles may decide who survives the roster cut. After that, there is nowhere left to hide. The NFC North and Detroit's schedule will test every repair at once. The NFC North will not give Detroit time to enjoy its offseason. Ben Johnson changed Chicago's direction, and Caleb Williams leads a Bears team that won the division through timely offense and takeaways. Green Bay carries pressure with Micah Parsons attacking from the edge. Minnesota proved it can disrupt Detroit, with Harrison Smith showing how one veteran defender can change a night. Every rival has a reason to believe, which makes every improvement matter now. The schedule turns that pressure into a test. Detroit opens against New Orleans, travels to Buffalo 4 days later, then reaches its bye after 5 demanding games. Green Bay and Minnesota visit Ford Field in back-to-back weeks. The Lions later face New England in Munich, then welcome Chicago on Thanksgiving. The final stretch is sharper. Detroit travels to Minnesota, hosts the Giants on Monday night, then closes with road games at Chicago and Green Bay. The division will be settled where mistakes become impossible to hide. The prediction must come with conditions. Jared Goff needs steady protection. Jahmyr Gibbs must handle a larger role without losing his burst. Aiden Hutchinson needs help that forces offenses to change their blocking plan. The safeties must recover, and one corner must claim the job. If those answers arrive, 11 wins and a return to January football are realistic. Detroit did not need another star. It needed weak links around its stars removed. That is what Brad Holmes attacked, and why the NFL should be watching again.